Another day for the stream. Good, what is it? Morning, afternoon, everybody. This is HiMrSmiles. Thank you for joining. So we've got some more exciting stuff today. So yesterday we went over a bunch, well, 2 videos by this guy named Rax on YouTube. Him and his team did some like really early, like I guess you could say like alpha version testing for Diablo Immortal. Sorry, I'm still trying to shake off the sleep voice. So, him and his team did some really early testing of Diablo Immortal. And they found a lot of imbalances, helped out Blizzard. It was really primed to be like a really good game. And then Blizzard releases the game. And we all know what happened. It became extremely pay to win. So, we have this new video. Maxroll closing Diablo Immortal branch. So, Maxroll, they create guides, like really detailed information layouts guides for these types of games. Diablo 2, Diablo 3, Lost Ark, and you see there Diablo Immortal. So they had an entire branch, like an entire group of guys working on Diablo Immortal. And then as you see, the title of the video, Maxroll is closing Diablo Immortal. So, I think we know what's happening here. So let's start the video. Let's see what's going on.
Hi everyone, it's Rax bringing you a very important update today. Maxroll has discontinued our Diablo Immortal branch.
Yeah, we see that.
We're not going to be making any updates, and very soon we're going to be taking down the guides. And this was a team decision that we made, and a lot of thought went into this. And I'd like to give you some background from Maxroll's perspective on exactly how this came about.
Yes.
So the first thing I'm going to start with is a little history lesson on Maxroll, if you'd care to hear it. Otherwise, maybe I'll put timestamps in the video and you can skip ahead. I want to tell you how Maxroll was formed, and Diablo Immortal was one of the first games that we ever worked on in the series of events that led us to canceling.
That's actually interesting because that makes it sound like this company hasn't been around that long. Or, well, no. So, I think if I'm right, Diablo Immortal's been in development for like 4 years or something, 3 or 4 years. So potentially the company is about that old.
In the branch. So let's start by going back and let's talk about how Maxroll formed. So if I go here and I go to the team page.
Oh, they're going to tell us.
To management. It all started with this guy right here, Alex.
I'm going to make my picture bigger.
Alex had a vision and he said, I want to make a website that covers ARPGs and tries to make the best guides on planet Earth. That's what he wanted to do. Alex is a German boy.
Okay.
So he went to Diablo 3, which is a game that he really enjoyed, and he looked at the content creators there for Diablo 3, particularly the German content creators, and he noticed 2 very famous ones. If you played Diablo 3, I'm sure you know them. SVR and Rob. Okay? So we talked with SVR and Rob. SVR is a major theory crafter, and Rob is an Omega Blaster from that game. And they said, let's make Maxroll, let's make the best guides, and they were in. They quickly discovered, okay, we cannot do this by ourselves. We need more help. So we're going to hire 2 more people.
I just want to point out, just really quick, you know it's a major Blizzard fan when they have the battle, look at this, the battle.net launcher on the taskbar for quick launch. Like, when you want to have that one button quick launch for battle.net, that's a serious Blizzard fan.
Going to get someone from North America, and we're going to get someone from Europe. So they did some research and they said the person we want from North America is me.
Nice.
There I am. And the person that we want from Europe is Hudijo. So there we go. We got.
So this company is actually a big deal then. They're multinational, and this guy actually is a big deal to himself because he heads up the North American kind of branch. That's kind of cool.
Our team, and here we go. So we started working on Diablo 3.
Right.
And we very, very quickly realized that this is way, way too hard for the amount of people that we had. So they
Need
said,
a bigger
"All right, who should we
team."
get?" And I said, let's get my brother, Facefoot. He'd be a super good pickup. And they kind of looked at me like, Rax, you want to get your brother on the team? That sounds stupid as hell.
Yeah, usually working with family in these kinds of situations, not the best idea. But, it can work out. It can, but not always.
I said, nah, man. He was a professor at a university. He's a very good teacher. He would be amazing for this, and he knows Diablo. I'm telling you. They had an interview with him. They hired him. It's gone very well. So there's Lee.
Nice.
And then we also picked up North War. North War is a huge Omega blaster. He's a Russian troll. He is a super amazing player. Picked up North War, and now we had a really rock-solid team. We picked up Riker not long after that, and of course we picked up Chewie after that, and Chewie's an absolute machine.
Chewie.
And we had been blasting D3 forever.
Just makes me think of Chewbacca.
Then we moved to Immortal, and here's where this comes in. So now let's...
Oh, God, I tried to do the
about
Chewbacca
how
voice.
The timeline went for us on Immortal. So, BlizzCon 2018.
Not
they
even
announced
close.
Immortal. You want to know what our feelings were about the announcement? The same as your guys' feelings. We didn't want a phone game. We thought it was really dumb. We wanted Diablo 4, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
We have the exact same ideas that you have. But if we're going to make guides, Diablo Immortal is the next game coming out in the Diablo series. We can't instantly dismiss the game before it...
Yeah, see, that's got to be a weird position for a company like this to be in. Oh, gosh. My cat shows up, wants to say hi, whether I want her to or not. No, but yeah, that's got to be a weird position for a company like this to be in. Like, if you make these kind of top-down dungeon crawling type game guides, and you're already doing the two biggest from Blizzard, Diablo 2, Diablo 3, you kind of have to do Diablo Immortal. I don't know how I'd feel to be in that position where I'm kind of forced to do something. I personally don't like to be forced to do things. But no, it makes sense for what they've already done, and then it's just the logical next step is okay, well, I guess we do Diablo Immortal. Even if we don't like the idea of a mobile game like this.
It even starts, right? So then the tech alpha was released, and the tech alpha was very, very short, and it essentially just let you log into the game and play it for 2 seconds. You pretty much could just move around and shoot and just do a dungeon and a challenge rift, and then you're done.
Right.
When we got this far, our hopes actually started to rise.
Really?
Because the game actually wasn't too bad. It's oh, this is...
These standards here. The game wasn't actually too bad. What? Obviously you had some kind of reservations here to say wasn't too bad. I don't know. If he's just talking graphically, yeah, mobile is still, maybe a generation behind, possibly 2 generations behind consoles. Probably more like 2, because with the PS5 and the newest Xbox, man, it's basic. They're basically on the level of keeping up with PC gaming at this point, almost, or at least when they very first came out, whenever the 30 or the 3000 series graphics cards were super scarce. I think a lot more people have them now, but when those graphics cards were super scarce, oh man, those consoles were basically, hey, I guess I could get one of these instead of a high-end PC.
Is a Diablo game. Oh, I can move and shoot now that I'm, we're playing on a phone and not the PC beta. And that dungeon was kind of cool. Okay, so it's not just this
that cut and paste dungeon with the same tile sets from Diablo 3 was kind of cool. I don't know.
Super cheap, shitty phone game. This is better than we thought it was going to be. So now we can at least build our ideas around covering this game, and let's see how it goes. So with that in mind, we were prepared for when they actually released the real alpha to erupt. So we had a team of myself, Rob, Echo Hack, and my brother.
Yeah.
And we dominated, man.
Nice.
Again, I've talked about this in my other videos. We don't need to talk about the same things 100 times over and over and over. But the alpha was the best version of the game that we had ever seen. It was fun. It rewarded gameplay. There was no pay to win. There was no resonance. None of that bullshit. It was made the best person win. Grinding was super rewarding. We did all the zone events. Okay, we've explained this a million times.
Yeah, so I kind of mentioned this in the stream yesterday when we watched the second video in this. There's 3, so we watched the first and the second yesterday, but so you were having fun. It was a good game, and why? Because there was no pay to win yet, and then Diablo releases the game, and it's a completely different game, and then all of a sudden it's totally pay to win. Whoa! Now it's not fun. Whoa! Big surprise. Yeah, pay to win kills it. Man, it's just so disappointing to see that kind of model being pushed everywhere. It's just it's like a game killer. Like if a game was pretty fun and then you make it pay to win, it's just no longer fun. It's only fun for people with tons of money who can just blow it on that game, in my opinion.
Spent so much time playing this, and we had so much fun, and we made so many friends that, you know, it, like we said here, it's the best version of the game we'd ever seen. There was none of this nonsense.
Right.
We picked up a bunch of people who were also blasting the game to Maxroll, who became incredible teammates of ours. We had Lexi, Dread, Echo, Greg, and now we had a real full lineup here.
Yeah.
And we started to really ramp up our guides because people, you know, were starting to consider us like the top source for Diablo Immortal information, like we had been for Diablo 3.
That's cool.
So one thing that needs to be said that people have been talking about, and we think it's a fair point, so we put it in the article. People say that all the blasting that you guys did in the alpha, all the spreadsheets that you made, all the hours that you put in, it may have actually been used to figure out how to stop the free-to-play players or how to stop progression, you know.
I mentioned this yesterday. I actually mentioned this yesterday. Like, he made this super detailed him and his team made this super detailed spreadsheet. Like, so detailed. It had everything. Like, exactly how much XP for all these runs, and exactly how much, like, I forget the terms, but, like, essentially, like, there's, like, gold and, you know, a bunch of different, you know, characteristics for each of these runs. And for how long, and then there was, like, an hourly divisor number, too. Like, they went into such detail to help out Blizzard, like, balance stuff, and Blizzard may have potentially used that information to unbalance the game, to basically make it so hard for free-to-play players to enjoy that they want to spend money. So they may have actually helped with that. Like, unintentionally, obviously, because that was not what they wanted to do. They wanted to make the game good, or you know, contribute to making the game good. It's just so sad, because you can tell this guy is passionate. You can tell he's passionate about Blizzard stuff and, like, wanting to help. And then for his assistance to be turned into, like, a weapon against the, you know, normal everyday player who doesn't want to spend money. That's painful.
Build their pay-to-win system. And, well, we cannot deny that possibility. Maybe that's exactly what happened. We don't know. We'll never know unless Blizzard tells us. But take our perspective for a second. We're just... the alpha was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Pretty decent. None of that bullshit that is currently in the game. And, you know, we wanted to try our best, you know. We were honored that we got the chance to test it, and we were trying to advance the game. And then we got the announcement that the game was going to be delayed, and we thought it was going to be even better because of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me read on, and let's see how it goes. By the way, there's a ton of effort into updating the guides here, because we could do a lot more in the alpha. So it took us so many hours to update it, but we're on pace here.
Yeah, seriously, man. I mean, look at this site, you know? It's got to take tons of time. I mean, they obviously put in a lot of work into this. So, yeah, oh, man. And to put all that work into it and think you're, like, contributing to making an awesome game. And then to kind of feel like you got slapped across the face. I mean, not intentionally. Like, obviously, you know, Blizzard wasn't, like, out to get these guys. Like, I'm sure they had multiple people helping test and multiple people helping, like, kind of try and improve the game. So it's not like it was personal to these guys, but still, it's like, it's gotta suck.
Then came the beta. I'll be totally honest with you. This is the section that I played the least. I logged in, I leveled up, and it looked kind of the same to me, and everybody else was blasting, and I was playing Lost Ark, and I had so many other things I was... I transitioned a while ago. I transitioned out of being on individual teams. I used to lead the Immortal branch. I gave it to Lee, my brother. He led it all the way up until today. And I transitioned out of that role into being more of into helping all of the teams. So help the Lost Ark team, help the D2 team.
Sort of a multi-class guy.
And we'll get started on some other projects here. But with all the things I was doing, I didn't really blast the beta, but the rest of my teammates did. And the beta just got worse. It just got worse from the alpha. So first of all, a lot of the core problems with the game hadn't been fixed. And there was like a 7-month gap here. So we began to grow concerned that either, you know, maybe our feedback wasn't heard, or the feedback that we gave maybe was a lower priority, but we thought that they were pretty major problems. And then of course came monetization, you know. We could see that there was unlimited spending. We could say that legendary gems now gave combat rating. This didn't exist before.
Oh no!
It was way too strong, and it was like a completely pay-to-win stat.
Oh no!
The free-to-play experience was awful due to crafting costs. They did improve it, but you know, it's still super terrible. It doesn't help you at all.
It starts
still
up
can't
here.
Get legendary crests. Can't upgrade your stuff.
Starts up here in the alpha, or like the pre-alpha, whatever testing. And it's like, yay, it's awesome. And then, oh, beta, oh, beta, oh, no, oh, release, oh, no. Yep, and that's where we are now.
Overall, it's just pound for pound worse. But still, we gave lots of feedback, still put in the hours to update it, and we're ready for launch.
These guys are trying so hard.
Then comes the release, right? And from all the effort that we put in for years and years and years, one extremely disappointing thing here is they made a lot of changes from beta to release, and it made some parts of some of our guides inaccurate. Or let me just give you one example. Wizards. We said wizards are the worst because they were the worst. Ask any wizard player to tell you the same thing. And we said things like, you know, the channeling with disintegrate, with the ice crystal. It's stupid.
So, yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously, you run a site like this where you make guides, it's going to be disappointing when things change because you do all this work and you think it's going to be like that, and then it's not. But I mean, it's not like the developer can make the game to be... like, to fit the guides of these guide makers, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, they just have to make their game, and they have to make it the best that they can from their perspective. So, yeah, I mean, it sucks, but they're not going to tailor it for these kinds of companies and creators, so, whatever.
It's terrible. Don't use that. It was terrible. Don't use that. But then it got really buffed, and everyone started using it. You're like, why did Maxroll say it was so bad? Well, it was so bad, but it was buffed right before released, and we didn't have any idea, and so that's why it ended up that way. So there were a lot...
I guess that's true. That's a good point, yeah. So it's frustrating because they did all this work, but not only that, because all the work they did, it now makes them look bad because it's wrong. That part I get, I guess, you know, more, is like... if you have a company, you want it to have a good reputation. You want people to keep using it because that's also, you know, your income. So, yeah, it makes sense a little bit more from that perspective. They're their kind of reputation gets hurt by these changes that they didn't know about.
A lot of things on our site that were very frustrating, that we didn't know that they were going to change, and
Yeah.
surprise, they're changed, and now we have to do so much work to fix it. It's just the nature of the beast in writing guides, right? Anyway,
Righto.
it came out, and pretty much all of our worst fears were realized as we wrote. A lot of the issues that we had talked about for a long time had not been fixed. The free-to-play experience was just as bad as ever, if not worse. The shop was the same thing from the beta, except it was worse. Now it actually had
Wait. What free-to-play experience? If you want to fully experience the game, like PvP and everything, there is no free-to-play experience. Other than just getting wiped across the floor, just like literally.
those bundles.
Oh
Some
my
of the bundles
goodness.
actually just directly sold you the 5-star gems. There were more caps and hidden caps, and there was no reason to grind anymore.
Yeah. Thanks, Adobe.
So one thing about this that maybe is a misrepresentation is we knew all along that in some capacity it was going to be pay to win. You
Yep.
pay money, you get an advantage, you have an advantage, you should win. We
I mean, it's
understand
Blizzard.
That's how mobile games are. We know that.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay, hold on just a second. Hold on. It's because that's how mobile games are. Okay, I can't. It doesn't have to be this way. There's no rule. There's no law. Keep the smile on, right? No, seriously though, it doesn't have to be this way. Like, just because, I don't know, cell phones are more accessible this way or something. Like, it's right in the palm of your hand and you feel, I don't know, it's so easy. Like, oh yeah, sure, I could just tap this and get a couple gems, no big deal. Like, I don't know, even that, the accessible thing, the easy thing, it's not a good argument. Like, there's nothing that says mobile games have to be pay to win. Or have all these transactions or whatever. It just kind of happened and then became a norm. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be. I would actually love to see that. I would love to see developers making games for mobile that are not pay to win. You pay one time. And maybe if it's something where there's like seasonal content or, you know, just regular content being put out, like new stuff, not just like tweaks or bug fixes, obviously, like new content, playable content being put out, maybe you do a subscription, maybe. But yeah, pay to win, actually including pay to win as like part of the model of the game, is not inherently for mobile games. Anyway, yeah.
The thing that has really, really disheartened us is the severity of it, right?
Yeah.
The difference between a free-to-play player and a whale is just so ridiculous that there's really no point in playing if you want to compete in anything.
It's all the way in
we
there.
thought, of course, this was Blizzard's opportunity, going back to the alpha again, to put in a year of development, have it be a really awesome game, to be the first mobile game that isn't just infinite pay-to-win nonsense.
Yeah.
But that's not what we got.
Oh boy.
So we put in so much time into this branch. I cannot explain to you how hard it is to write a guide. Maybe there are people out there in the comments section that work on websites, you know, that can look at one of these guides here. Here, let's just pull one up here. Maybe you guys could take a look at one of these and...
Yeah, I mean, look at this site, right? It looks pretty. Like, it looks really nice. I've done a little web development, and this would take time and effort, like lots of it. And we haven't even seen the whole site. I mean, I think it looks like he's going to show us.
You know, get a glimpse of how long it takes. 1 second here to pull one up. Let's just pull up a build guide.
Yeah, look at this.
The Demon Hunter guide.
So this is like pretty interactive, right? So you have selectors and stuff, and like I don't know, there's a bunch of information, like big panels, and like it's all nicely laid out and everything. This would take a lot of time. A lot of time.
Let's look at the overview. Why not? You know, I don't even know where to begin. the featured image. You know, how to make this thing and all the socials. How to put the About Dread site. How to structure these, how to put in the spacers, how to color this properly, how to make all of these embeds, then actually embed them all, how to make this line up in the GIF. You know, it's so much work, man.
Right.
How to make this with every single skill, with when you get it, the
cooldown, that's really in depth.
Give you what type it is. I think you could understand. We have, I think there's 180 guides on Diablo Immortal branch. 180.
It's crazy.
And it was only because of the tremendous work of our team.
That is crazy.
Only because of Lee's work, Rob's work, Lexi's, Echo Hack's, Dread's, Greg. I was on the team, and Woody.
They did a good job.
Helped as well, a lot.
They really did a good job.
Thanks for all your godly work. We really appreciate it. So we go in. Why did we decide to do this? Well, we don't do it lightly. The number one thing is by far the biggest reason, and it's something that we talked about a lot, is, you know, just the pay-to-win aspect.
Pay-to-win?
You know, we take a little bit of a sense of responsibility, especially with, like, the gambling addictions.
Yeah.
We saw actually a couple of times on our streams, and we have to take these comments seriously, where somebody said, Hey, Rax, don't tell my wife. I couldn't help myself. I just plugged another $1,000. Let's roll those crests.
Oh, no.
And you have to take those comments seriously. And, you know, it's really not something to joke about at all.
Oh, crap.
Gambling can really ruin lives.
Yep.
And that is never something that you want to read, and something we take very seriously. It's the thing that we talked about the most.
Yeah.
And are we part of the problem? Are we part of the problem for streaming it? Are we part of the problem for making guides on it?
Right.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And ultimately, we said, yes, we will be a part of the problem unless we back out. And, you know, we take, at least I do, and I think everybody.
I think that's pretty cool. I honestly think that's pretty cool. Like, it's awesome that these guys actually have integrity. Like, actual integrity. Like, whoa, we're causing people to blow their money, or at least in some way we are contributing. Like, if we're making these guides, like, encouraging people to do better in terms of their builds or whatever, having enough info on the game, like, we are actually contributing to people spending money on this game. Like, because they want to get the best whatever, so, you know. And we have the guides on how to do that, and a lot of that is pay-to-win stuff, like where you have to actually buy whatever, crests or gems, and yeah, that's amazing. That is actually awesome that they have integrity, and they don't want to be part of the system. Part of the system that reaches into your wallet and rips your cash out.
Yes, I take tremendous pride in being a part of this website and trying our best all the time and trying to do the right thing. And I think if we continue to update this game and pretend like this isn't a problem, then we are part of the problem.
Right.
So we're going to cancel this before even the first update, and we'll get to that in a second.
Nice.
Second reason is probably pretty
Get
obvious.
out.
The disengagement and the response from the
Good
community.
call.
It's been overwhelmingly negative, right?
Right.
And
for some reason, the community doesn't like pay to win.
A lot of the reasons that we're disengaged, we're blasters, is because we are a little bit surprised at how some of the things were released after a lot of the testing and feedback. And by the way, it's not just Maxroll. It's not just us. There were a lot of other fantastic content creators who were testing and leaving feedback as well. We're not the...
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, it's not like it was personal to these guys. Like, I'm sure a lot of people were testing this and giving feedback. But yeah, for many reasons, this had to have sucked for these guys. The site that they put all this work into, the reputational hit for guides being wrong because of all the changes, and, you know, obviously, like, they might have actually promoted the game to their circles or their fans or whatever, and then seeing that the game actually comes out extremely pay to win when they didn't think it was going to be, like, that's gotta suck too.
End all be all,
It's
right?
gotta suck.
But it's very surprising. The unrewarding gameplay that has to do with the caps, and there's nothing to do, and you log in and you just do, you know, your faction dailies and yada yada yada. And yeah, I mean, what's the motivation to log in? I haven't logged in like 4 or 5 days, not one time. I was planning to do my dailies. You hear me say that in my previous video. I don't even do that anymore. Don't even log in. I quit the Immortals, by the way. By the way, being a shadow is
Good
better
man.
than the Immortals, and we said that I think in the alpha and the beta. And still on launch, it's better to be a shadow.
Get out of that game.
The
Yeah.
whole point is to try to win the Immortals, right? That's the whole point of the game. That should be way better than being a shadow, but oh well, whatever. Money
Whatever.
isn't everything. Even with all the bad publicity that Immortal has, if we kept our Immortal branch going, it would
Wait,
generate
really?
revenue from Maxroll.
Really?
Let you know. So
That's crazy. Even with a super poorly received game, and then obviously their branch dedicated to that game, it would still make them money. That part is crazy to me. Because you think people don't like the game, they're super pissed about it, and something like this would still make them money. Like, because that's actually really surprising, because, like, say only the whales, only the people who have these thousands of dollars to spend are using these guides. They're still gonna make money off that? That's so interesting to me. Like 1% of players are whales or something. So if 1 million people are playing the game, that's what? Sorry, math. 100,000. 10,000? 10,000 people are using their site? I guess maybe there's money to be made there. Yeah. It's interesting though.
So we're not just going through money. We're trying to do the right thing. Stick to our core values.
Yep.
And we're walking away from all the work.
I love that. Integrity.
The missed events from our family and obligations. We meet every Saturday.
Yeah.
For at least an hour or two on every single team. Lost Ark, Immortal, D3, D2, whatever we do in the future.
Dang.
PoE. If we do Last Epoch, if we do Diablo 4, whatever it is. We have
Do
a team
PoE.
we meet weekly to discuss how do we make these guides? How are we progressing? How do we come together
Right.
as a team to get this all done?
Right.
It's a lot of work. And we're just saying goodbye. And we're even giving up our future earnings.
If it's time, it's time.
And the one key thing that I said we would get to, and here it is lack of remedy. So we asked ourselves, what would it take for us to reopen this branch? We're not going to delete our guides. We'll just hide them. But aside from everything, we need the infinite pay-to-win system to be gone to fix, problem number one, this gambling thing, and we
Right.
need free-to-play players to actually have a chance in the game and have some fun.
Not gonna happen.
But we don't envision Blizzard being able to implement something like this,
Right.
because of the current economic model.
They like that money, and they like it to keep flowing. And I don't know when I heard there was some kind of we'll just say issues. There were some issues with Diablo Immortal going to China. So we'll say when Diablo Immortal goes to China, they'll have a huge market there. Huge. Like twice the size or something of the US market for that game. So, I mean, even if it completely died, except for the whales, which is still tons of money here in the US, yeah, they'll have a huge market in China. So I don't think they even need to be worried. Blizzard, unfortunately, freaking Bobby at the top, rubbing his hands, yeah, for his next yacht. Yeah, I don't think they're even worried at all.
Let's say that they normalized PvP and said it's fair for everyone now. Do you want to come play? Well, I don't think they will do that because now the whales can charge back all of their money, right? That seems like a fair reason for them to ask for all their money back. Is
Yep.
Blizzard going to give all the money back? I doubt it. Are they going to open up a free-to-play server? No.
They should make that, like, they should honestly make that legal. That should honestly be legal. Just charge it all back. All the money I spent on this game in the last 30 days. Heck, in the last 2 weeks. I don't care. Let us charge all our money back that we spent on the game. No matter what, no strings attached, no questions asked. Just screw over those freaking big corporate gaming giants that are obviously screwing us over with these pay-to-win models. Yeah, I like it.
Because that would destroy the ecosystem, right? Whales in the ecosystem swim around and need to eat the minnows and the plankton. If the minnows and the plankton go to the free-to-play server, who are the whales going to beat up on, right? We don't think a remedy is possible that would fix this.
Yeah.
So one thing about shutting this down is we are going to keep our guides up for a little bit because we care about you guys. If you guys have some guides that were really helping you, we don't just want to pull the plug and say that you can't read them. Go ahead and read them. Copy information if you want. Don't worry about it. And one thing that I want to mention about this, there were some people that came into my stream.
Even with all this mess, they still want to leave the guides up and like help out the people who they think might need them before they take them down. Like, these guys really do have some integrity. They're not just thinking about themselves. It's like, yeah, okay, we want to help. We want to help as much as possible in all regards. So we want to take this crap down, but we also want to help the people who might be currently using it. And we don't even care if you take our information and copy it somewhere. Like, just, yeah, we're just helping. It's crazy.
And other streams and have said some things on the internet that said, Rax, I can't believe you and your team copied this other site's guide. Word for word, the same guide. I can't believe that you did that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I can't tell you how offensive that is to me.
So these guys who are obviously passionate about this game, or were, right? At least about the work. At least about the work they do, right? They're super passionate about it. It's obvious. In the stream yesterday, he showed off this spreadsheet that he had made, or well, that him and his team had made for this game, for Blizzard, to help them balance it. So detailed, like multiple columns of like so much information to help them balance things. You look at all that, and then someone could honestly say, "Oh, you just stole this from another site." Yeah, right. And then seeing these messages about like, yeah, we're just doing everything like we can for everybody in this situation. We're leaving up guides even though we hate this game and we want to just get rid of the branch immediately. We're still going to leave up the guides to help for as long as possible before we just take them down. Like, these guys are copying other people's work and just stealing it? No, it's more like those other groups or companies or people are stealing Maxroll's work and putting it up.
We had a team. Here they are. You see their faces. You see them streaming. You can talk to them on Discord. You can ask them whatever questions you want. They'll prove to you that they know this game.
Right.
That worked on this for 2 years. We wrote those spreadsheets. We wrote those Word docs. We met every Saturday over and over and over. And if you think we did all of that to just copy some other site's guide and claim it as our own,
right?
I find that offensive. There's no way you actually believe that, right? Please
right.
Tell me.
Exactly.
That's just a joke. It's very offensive to all these people that have put so much time into trying to make these guides as good as we can for you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Please don't say that, guys. And it's just not true. All of our work is our own original work on every single branch. And in the event that we would ever use content from somebody else's guide, we would always ask them permission and credit them. We have done that in the past. I can show you an example on the D3.
Integrity.
On the D3 section that we worked on.
These guys have integrity.
Our work is our own. It's a critical core value of ours. We're never going to copy anything from any site. Well, Rax, why are the guides the same? I'll let you figure that one out. You're smart. You can figure it.
Because other people stole their work. Oh my gosh. These guys really do have a nice site. Like, I may stream Lost Ark do like a story playthrough of that at some point. And if I want to make a strong build, I'm totally going to use this site. I may play Diablo 3 or hey, I have Diablo 2, the remastered version. Maybe I'll go back and play that. Maybe it'll be easier with a guide. I never played. Okay. I never played when I was a kid. I did not play Diablo 2 when I was a kid. I wasn't allowed. My parents were like, "No, that game's evil. It's about the devil, you know." Yeah. I never played that when I was a kid like everybody else. And then I haven't always had money available to me. It's kind of a poor kid. Growing up and even into adulthood, never had a lot of money. So I haven't really played Diablo 2. I just touched on it like very briefly with some friends, and then we kind of stopped playing because they weren't available. So maybe I'll play through Diablo 2, but if I do, I'm going to use this site. This site's legit.
One thing that I should say, in case anybody's worried about this, if you're worried about this, then that's nice of you. It's not a concern. Is our team is fully on board with this, right? We made this decision together. We did all this work together. We did all these guides together.
Yeah.
We had a huge meeting. We discussed it for like 3 hours last Saturday on exactly what we should do. We've grown pretty close, man. Everybody on Maxroll, I would like to think we're a pretty tight knit bunch. Right?
That's cool.
I know a lot about these guys from working with them for 2 years, and
Yeah.
the D3 team is fantastic. The Diablo 2 team is fantastic. Haven't gotten to work with them as much, but I got to play with them a lot going for the world record. So love the D2 team. The Lost Ark team is just dominant.
World record. What's that about?
These guys have done so well. I'm so proud of the Lost Ark branch. Path of Exile is coming soon. Get ready for that, guys.
It is
We'll try to
coming.
take it very
I heard him mention earlier, like, oh, maybe Path of Exile. So that's interesting. They actually are doing a Path of Exile branch. I like that.
complicated game and make it digestible for you. Don't sit there and think like, oh, Maxroll is an...
I actually think I want to play Path of Exile on stream. I think that would be fun. I think that would be really fun. So maybe this, maybe I'll actually just wait. I'll literally just time it around whenever these guys make their guide. And when that guide comes out, I'll play Path of Exile.
Entities swept the rug out from these poor content creators, and they took all their work and then just quit on them. That's not what happened. We made the decision together. I openly invite you. Reach out to any of our teammates and ask them how it went. Maybe they'll make videos as well. So now we look to the future. Maxroll will continue. We're going to continue dominating. Diablo 3 is going to come out with Season 27. We'll cover it in full. Again, we're launching Path of Exile coming.
You guys got this.
Thinking about some other titles as well. Let's see what other ones are looking promising coming forward.
Other titles. What would they do? PoE's the other big one, besides freaking Lost Ark. So that's interesting.
And we really appreciate you guys. And I hope that this decision is well received by you guys. But I guess the internet will tell us very soon what you guys think. Please let me know in the comments. What do you think? I will read it. And yeah, I gotta be honest, man. I'm very, very disappointed, man. I'm not.
Me too.
I'm just so disappointed. In
Blizzard, come on.
I planned on playing the game for a good amount of time. I planned on making a lot of guides for this game.
Yeah.
I planned on working for Maxroll for this game. And we thought this was going to be a game that was going to get the most updates of any game. And it was going to actually require pretty much the most manpower.
It might get the most updates, but it's going to be updates to unbalance the game for more pay to win.
Female power. I don't want to alienate genders here. The most power to.
There you go.
But
be gender safe there with your dialogue.
This. Again, we knew it was going to be pay to win, but not like this. You know, in the Matrix, not like this.
Dang, guys. Dang. So, these guys, this company, discontinuing their Diablo Immortal branch. That's crazy. I mean, what do we think about that? I can't honestly say I'm not surprised. Like, seriously? After all they experienced, and then, the fact that they actually have some integrity. They don't feel right about, helping a company like Blizzard friggin' take advantage of their, I don't know, player base. It's good. It's good they have integrity.